I'm live.
All right. We're back. And I believe, Tim, you have some changes and additions for us?
Yes, I do. Let's see, we have 3 substantive edits that I tried to take care of during the break. And I've highlighted them so that we can kind of contrast for this. And if this is kind of visually disruptive, just let me know. I can take the highlights off. That's not a problem. And let me try to increase the font
That would be good.
here. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the first has to do with the government accountability and its repeal. We have 2 new sections. The first one gets the intent. This is a rephrasing of the material statement made by Representative
Brumstead.
Thank you, Brumstead, this morning. It is not the most artfully crafted, so I invite edits here, but I did try to communicate the sentiment the best I was able. Followed by an outright simple repeal of the Government Accountability Committee. There's only 1 section in the chapter, and so the chapter itself should be just repealed in whole. And happy to kind of dive in here, or we can move on and come back. So certainly to the commission.
Let's look at this one first.
Yeah, I think it's the intent of this committee, not the Government Operations Committee.
Sorry, it's, I spoke to my supervisor, and she had kind of recommended that be the intent of the, as it were, if this were to be enacted, it'd be passed as a bill, and therefore the intent of the General Assembly to have these other particular committees examine what are the
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
jurisdiction.
Okay.
We can specify that, or I'm more than happy to.
No, I think it is the intent of the General Assembly
they
to
will.
have those committees review it.
Okay.
And I heard Rob say it made sense to him.
Is it just House and Senate GovOps that is going to re-examine this, or is it, because the way that's worded is it's House and Senate GovOps plus House and Senate Standing Committees of Jurisdiction?
I don't know that I would just say House and Senate Government Operations Committee because they're the ones that are responsible for this committee. And we don't want 14 committees looking at whether we should have reconstitute government accountability. We want just those 2.
Or nothing will get done?
Yeah.
Okay, I've removed that.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time reading. 2. Can somebody read it to me, because I don't have my new glasses yet and I'm having a hard time focusing on the words.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
From the beginning, it reads, section 1, it is the intent of the General Assembly for the House and Senate Government Operations Committees to re-examine the principle of government accountability with attention paid to how evidence is used to inform policy, how information is publicly conveyed, review state laws to ensure accountability, and for a new statutory structure to accomplish these goals.
I would put something about, and potentially for a new statutory, there may not be, they may decide that they don't need a new statutory structure. So I wouldn't want to, and for potential, yeah. Yeah. That's the end that I was having trouble reading. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Is everybody okay with this? Rob?
Yes, sorry, yes.
Swimming pool, give them a break.
Is that splashing noise I heard? Okay,
So I had to get out and dry off before I could touch the computer.
okay. Thank you. So I think that this is fine.
Okay. So moving on to section 2, just quickly recapping that this is just a repeal simply of the chapter that houses the only one section that addresses the Government Accountability Committee. So
Okay.
section 3, let me collapse the margin here for readability. Let's see, regards state boards, commissions registry. And these are the edits that were provided to us before the break by Director Marshall. And we can see here that really pertains to subsection C. It's just a quick removal of this text via strike through. Removing the language by federal law and contains state appointees or by executive order, but maintaining the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those are the first 2 sections, and then we'll skip down to section 10, which addresses the Vermont Employment Security Board. Okay. And so we have here a few edits that I'd like to call your attention to, and we can just go through them as they appear. I'll just start by reading the language as proposed to be amended. There's hereby created a board of 3 members to be known as the Vermont Employment Security Board. 1 member who will serve as the chair of the board shall be the Commissioner of Labor ex officio. The 2 other members of the board shall be appointed by the governor with the advice and consent of the Senate. The term of each appointed member shall be 6 years. And then because there's now 2 versus kind of 3 appointed, I took the liberty of changing that to triennially to make more temporal sense. So triennially, in the month of February, with the advice and consent of the Senate, the governor shall appoint a person as a member of the board for the term of 6 years, whose term of office shall commence March 1st of the year in which such appointment is made. Any appointment to a vacancy shall be for the unexpired term. In case of a vacancy by resignation, the member resigning shall continue in office until that member's successor is appointed. That's just drafting manual rule that we have to remove the gendering of certain terms. Moving on. No more than 2 members of the board shall be members of the same political party. I'm not sure if the commission is interested in revisiting that or not, but
Is that current language?
it is currently.
Yeah.
Then we remove another reference to the chair, as was addressed above. Moving on, the governor may at any time remove an appointed member of such board for gross inefficiency, neglect of duty, malfeasance, misfeasance, or nonfeasance in office.
Was that
I
there?
didn't realize there were 3 things of feasance.
Yes, I know. I didn't read that part of the statute.
Are there really 3 things of?
Misfeasance.
I'd have to look all 3 of them up, just so you know.
Malfeasance,
I have no idea what they mean.
and what?
Luckily, we have not had to address
But
that,
that's existing language, so.
It is.
Yeah.
so I don't want to mess with it. Can we go back to the triannually, though? I'm not understanding that change.
Sure. So before, from my reading of this, the board was to be composed of 3 members, and similar to how the US Senate kind of rotates every 2 years, is a third of them are kind of up. And so with 3 members, I think it was every 2 years, a new person would be appointed, their term would run for 6 years, and then 2 years later, person B,
These would be 3 years apart, okay.
this would be, and this would avoid just.
On the board. Gotcha, okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
That is going to confuse somebody because most of them appointments are made at the beginning of the biennium. But
That's an excellent point. I'm happy to.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other. I just, most of them are made.
Yeah, even if it's every 2 years, I mean, they'll have a that's probably, it's the only one that I can think of that's not biennially, so that.
Because
Most everything
usually they
runs.
are appointed in February of the first year of the biennium.
March 1, yep.
So I've restored the biennial language.
Thank you. Yep, I think that's a good call.
Yeah. And that means with them not being of the same party, the governor is going to appoint one Democrat, one Republican, one progressive, one independent. I mean, out of those four things, because the commissioner of labor is probably going to be one or the other, or maybe not.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to, I think it just.
We
saves
do
it from
that in
everybody
everything.
being one party.
Yeah, we do that on almost everything. Okay, yep.
And that is the last of the substantive changes, exception of one that we made prior to the break about the removal of that subsection 6 of the Energy Board. Here we are.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, it was the Vermont Telecommunications.
Okay, no, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so what do we think?
Good.
Job well done.
Good, yeah, good, thank you. So can we accept that? Okay, the first question is, who is going to introduce this bill?
The only one left.
Well, I think it's always started
In the House.
the House.
But neither Rob nor I can
I
introduce the bill.
know. Is there going to be somebody who can, or should we have it start in the Senate this year? Does it make any difference?
I don't know.
Well,
I'd rather have the House look at it first in case they find something, but is there someone that's currently a member of GovOps that you could call and say, I don't know, it may not matter.
It doesn't,
Mark Higley might be willing to do it only because he presented it last session.
that's a good idea, Rob.
Okay.
oh, yeah,
I can check with Mark for sure.
Yeah,
yeah.
we have time for that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, oh, yeah, we don't have to, I just was thinking about that the other day. Don't ask me why I think about things like this.
We
in
should
my-
try to get a D to do it too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be,
Usually Rob and I have co-sponsored the boards and commissions bill.
I think it's good. Maybe,
So we have Mawicki, Anthony, and Hooper.
And Higley.
And Higley. Well,
But if
you're
we have
going to
Higley-
reach out to Higley.
Oh, yeah.
Who should I reach out to, Rob?
Geez, that's a good question. Maybe McCarthy? Because I don't know, is Maricki going to be back on GovOps?
Not sure.
Right, and yeah,
I could reach out to Mike McCarthy.
yeah, he might have some insight as to how that committee is going to be.
and it doesn't even really
Reconstituted.
have to be somebody from that committee, but
True.
it should be somebody who maybe has been on the committee before, if not now.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
all right,
I'll start with Mike.
okay. All right, so can we vote on accepting our little bill here?
What draft number is it, Tim?
This is version 3.
3.1? So I'll move that the committee vote favorably on 3.1 of this 62-page bill.
I would only make a change on line 1.
To be D.
Oh, yeah. But we don't know yet who it's going
We
to be.
don't know, but
So you,
that you guys still have time to,
yeah.
yeah.
So you could delete
With
that.
subsequent edits.
Yeah, but we've put in the drafting request and, I mean, you put in the drafting request. You're the only one here who can do that.
I have not done that.
You have right now.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
I like being the only one that can do something.
Probably the only one here who could stand up long enough on single runner ice skates too. Okay. So we do have,
Well, we have a motion on the floor.
And I-
oh, we haven't voted on it yet. I'm sorry. Okay.
Tracy seconded.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting draft 3.1?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. Okay.
Sorry, Rob.
And in spirit,
If I could vote, I would be an aye as well.
Thank you.
that's what we
Noted.
thought. Thank you. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
So we do have this, that, Rob, can you email this to Rob?
Sure.
So that he can see it also? I assume you can get email down there in Florida?
I can, Madam Chair. I'm actually dual utilizing 2 devices here, so I'm glad to look at anything emailed to me.
I'm impressed.
I emailed it to both of your accounts, Rob.
I'm sorry?
I emailed it to both of your emails. I don't know
Okay.
which one you're using.
So,
So this will just be a memo to the 2 committees?
yeah, so this is basically, John made some really good suggestions here to track it more with what the legislation actually said. And,
I got it. I like it.
okay,
Especially the last paragraph.
No, equality, not equity.
oh yeah, it is equality is, I had changed that, but I never changed it in the,
Where is that?
it's in the third.
Last paragraph.
First
Last
sentence, last
paragraph.
paragraph.
Oh, instead of equity, equality?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they asked us,
That's referenced up in number 2.
yeah.
And then our position is that the equity be determined, is that,
No, no.
because it's in there.
Equality.
Okay, are they both changed?
Both of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Our position is at the equality. Yeah, yes, you're right. Thank you.
And then last sentence, I think government should be governors.
Oh, yeah. During the governor,
Or executive, if we're saying legislative, executive.
Executive, not legislative.
okay, great.
Okay, so this again will be justified during the governor.
Executive.
During the executive and legislative budgeting process.
Executive.
Executive and legislative budgeting process.
Yep.
Nice.
So would you like me to email that to all of you?
No, I don't.
We trust you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can we approve this as our report?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to approve a report pursuant to section 9 of Act 134.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hypothetically, if I could vote, I would say aye too.
So now the question is, who's going to be responsible for getting this to the two committees? Will you be here?
I'm supposed to be here.
Okay.
I haven't officially told which committee, but I assume HG.
Right, who do we send it to? If you send it now,
We can't send it now because then it'll go to me and Sarah. So we don't want to send it now. We want to wait until we have new chairs.
I can make sure it gets to the new chairs. I mean, or you can let me know if you're not here and, I mean, whatever works, but I know I plan to be here when the session starts.
Okay, so would you take responsibility for making sure that it gets sent to those two new chairs, whoever they are, and work with Andrea to get that
Send me
done?
that too.
Okay,
Awesome, thank you.
great. Thank you.
Do you want a print of it?
I don't.
Okay.
wow.
All right. Anything else we need to?
I don't think so. We don't have any more remaining tasks.
I don't think we do.
It's almost sad.
Yeah. I'd be interested to know, and I realize that it's not important numerically, where we started way back when, how many boards and commissions there were. I mean, I know there's 259 now as of yesterday, based on Tanya's report. And I realize, again, the goal wasn't ever to get to 5,
Right.
but it seems like we added a bunch of them last time. So we probably have more than we had when we started.
I'm wondering if you really want to know the answer to the question.
Well, I think that,
Probably just musing.
but we did get rid of some that really were clogging up the works. I mean, that were just there. They had no purpose in being there. And I think that was what our job was not necessarily to get down to more. And I think the idea of them having to be sunsetted every 5
Yeah.
years is a really good one, because that means that this process will kind of keep happening.
Yeah, no, there'll be, the various committees will have to be forced to look at it. Somebody from one of those boards and commissions may have to like say, hey, we're about to go away, but
Yeah.
Yep.
And if nobody does, they will sunset.
yeah.
And the committees of jurisdiction are the ones that are going to have to, I think, stay on top of that. Oh. Thank you. I didn't even think that. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
no, it'll work out, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard process. I mean, to get rid of, as we found out with the State Board of Education, I mean,
They did make some changes.
they did, we got their attention.
We got their attention.
Well, it just says the only one, well, no, Tracy will be coming back, but you guys aren't, and neither is Rob. Just like to thank you for your hard work here. I don't even know if I'll see you again. I know I'll see Jeanette again, judicial nominating, but I don't think I'm going to see you again.
Unless you're in
know
tax
about- I don't know about Rob, but,
Well,
great work.
that's a good question. And I do want to say that this is the second very hardworking and talented group that I've been a part of. And it has really been a pleasure. And I think we've done a lot of good work for the state of Vermont, for Vermonters.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So. All right.
All right. Well, I got to go put on some sunscreen.
Happy Thanksgiving.
If I could, I'd throw a snowball at you.
Goodbye,
Well,
all.
I'll move that we adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
No.